What's good? I'm Lemar, Blunt Talking with David Sheller.
Now, you're in a very opposite position compared to your first time around. Before you exploded on the scene, you actually dropped from a record label, and now you're a defiant artist with platinum albums, a solid career, and you do things on your own terms. What does that feel like?
It feels great, you know, it feels great. I think it's a testimony to if you put in a lot of hard work and you just try and stay on your own grind and just try and keep on developing and keep on kind of like staying motivated, then you just end up in a place, and the place feels good. So yeah.
And what's motivated your return to the music industry?
You know, I wasn't really, I said this before, I wasn't really trying to make a record on this record. You know, I just wanted to take some time out. I just wanted to write some songs. I wanted to travel a little bit. And this album just kind of evolved, you know, during that time. I'm always writing. So, you know, I think I've written like about 150 or 160 songs during this, you know, the last year and a half. And there were a few that stood out, and I just thought, you know, why not? It feels good. Why not just put it out and see what the people think? So here I am.
Coming from kind of a reality music TV show, what's your view on them nowadays? Do you think they're still a good platform, or do you think it's a bit oversaturated?
I don't know. I think they're still a good platform because, you know, if you have the opportunity to sing your song or show your ability or your talent to 9 million people every week, you'd be stupid not to take the opportunity. But, you know, I just think, as I've always said, you know, I think for anyone going in, if you want to take it seriously and you're not just going in for a laugh, you have to try and put in the groundwork before, you know, try and develop your talent before, try and know who you are before, so that you're not kind of like thrown to the lions and they're trying to figure out who you are and who you're like and try and just mash it up. So, yeah.
And from your experience, what artists or groups do you look at today and think, wow, you know, they could have a 10-year career, they've got what it takes?
Wow. Do you know what? Who were we talking about recently that I thought was cool? You know, I think Rebecca Ferguson's album is good. You know, we were talking about her just recently, but I think as an artist, she's got that kind of like, it's not about the publicity. It's not about whether she's in a paper or not. You know, people like her album. It's just going. It's just ticking along, and it's going nicely. I think she's pretty cool. You know, I think there's potential in a lot of people, but I don't know, music's a funny thing, you know, the road is very winding, you know. Today you might be cool, and then tomorrow you put out a Duff album. So I think it really is about just continuously developing, you know. You can have a great talent, but if you don't work on getting the best songs or don't work on being the best performer, you know, it can go to the wayside very quickly.
Let's talk about the new single, Invincible, that drops August 12th. Tell us about that record.
So the new single, Invincible, it's an uplifting song. It's about sticking together. It's about, you know, if you want to relate it to love, it's about when you're with that one person and you feel that together you're invincible. Regardless of what's going on around you or what's going on, you know, with your family or with friends, you feel that together you can do anything. And I think there's a broader message to it as well, in that obviously we're still in a recession. You know, the riots that happened. You know, I think in situations like that, it's good to remember community and pulling together and, you know, trying to get through things together. So yeah.
And is there a release date yet for the album?
September 17th is what I'm running for. If I can just finish this album and actually get it mastered, I'm too picky, man. I keep on mixing stuff and remixing it and remixing it. I've got to kind of put it down in a minute. So I'm finishing off this last song, and then hopefully September 17th is what I'm going for.
Is the freedom that you have with you know, having your own record label, is that something that could possibly delay it? Because, you know,
it can help it and it can hinder it. It can help it in that it can be a very, you know, a very creative album. You can speak how you want to speak. But it can delay it in that I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, you know. So I'll play things to people like about 100 times. You know, I've got some close friends that I'll play it to, and they'll be like, yeah, it's good, you know. But I still find something to nitpick at. So eventually they'll be like, come on, put the tools down. It's time to move. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Okay, now we're going to do some quick fire questions.
All right.
No passing allowed.
Cool.
Carpe diem or YOLO?
YOLO.
The cold side of the pillow or the smell of gasoline?
The what? The
cold side of the pillow.
Of the pillow, or the smell of gasoline? Gasoline.
Seeing a friend stumble over himself or skinny dipping?
Seeing a friend stumble over himself. Quite funny.
Sleeping in on a rainy day or finding money you didn't know you had?
The way I feel at the moment, sleeping in on a rainy day.
Okay.
It's a nice feeling.
Slow internet connection or an ATM machine not in service?
Oh gosh. ATM machine not in service.
And lastly, #1 album or #1 single?
#1 album.